Good evening. Welcome to my recital. Try to make sure so I can in camera, but okay. Couldn't worry about that. So, the first piece you just heard is from the composer Bach. He wrote the piece called Prelude and Fugue, and he actually wrote for 2 albums. And I picked this from the first book, and this was a key of B flat major, and this is his 21st Prelude and Fugue. The Prelude has a divided into 2 sections, as you heard it. The first one is a toccata style, which has a lot of sequence with different movements, and then mostly melody and some lap hand. But the second half, which you heard a heavy chorus with the cadenda style, it's used the fantasia style, and it alternates between the chords and scale progressions. The fugue, fugue is actually one of the hardest pieces that actually, as we know, because it has a totally different technique that you want to hear the rest of the piece. Normally, left hand, we normally don't play the melody, but Bach is special. He's like, no, I want to play the melody in the left hand. So, especially in the fugue, he has 3 voices, and then it's accompanied by 2 counter subjects, and then sometimes it starts with the one voice in the main theme, but the main melody sometimes it jumps to put in the different voices. Like, oh, I'm gonna put in the middle voice. Sometimes I put in the low voice. So when you like, you know, yeah, it's definitely amazing pieces, but sometimes it definitely has a really interesting composition technique, in my opinion, especially from Bach. And now we are moving on to the Mozart Sonata on classical era. This first I'm teaching music history here. And then he wrote total 18 piano sonatas, and then in my opinion, Mozart is one of my favorite composer for piano. And I'm going to play the 7th sonata, which is known as the K309, number 7 in C major, and it has a total of 3 movements, and it takes about 20 minutes of music. The first movement, Allegro con spirito, is the opening movement, which has a bright and energetic themes you're going to hear that contrasts with the more lyrical secondary themes, and also this, especially this movement from the sonata, we use a lot from the sonata form. If you don't know, don't worry. It's a great example that use and people are performing with this. But the second movement, again, the whole sonata, it's at a C major, but Mozart wanted to be a little special, so he decided to compose in F major. This one is a slower tempo, and then it starts with the main theme, but you're going to hear the main theme but a little bit in different style, which means you're going to hear the variations of it. So each time he shows the main theme, he puts a lot of variation, and that's the whole second movement. And in my opinion, it has a really beautiful melodies to it, and you're going to hear it. The Rondo, the last movement, this has a long theme with a really great phrasing with a long melody. But also this piece, because it's a Rondo form, you're going to hear the beginning theme again, and again, but it changes a little different. And there will be a point, it's kind of fair warning. It sounds like dawn, maybe not. Just be fair warning for that. All right, and have fun. recital. Now we're going to moving on to the later, the history music here. I'm going to start with the Chopin. I'm pretty sure many of, if you're a musician, you heard this composer's name, or not even a musician, it's really famous. Yeah, somebody's like dancing, I can see that. I got you. So, I'm going to play two of his etudes, and he actually wrote 3 different, I would say, albums of etudes, which is Opus 10, Opus 25, and then the one unique title called Trois Nouvelles etudes. Many people know some etudes from Opus 10 and 25 because those are really famous, and actually those etudes have really hard, challenging parts on the piano. But the one that I picked from this Trois Nouvelles etudes, he only wrote 3, and I picked the first one, C F minor. And this etude has a more lyrical style than aggressive and harder challenging. Especially, it's one of my favorite etudes. Of course, I cannot fight with the next one revolutionary. But and you're going to hear the beautiful melodic line with the party rhythms, 3 verses 4. If you're a musician, yes, that's crazy. And then the next etudes, it's from Opus 10 and number 12, C minor. And this is actually one of the most famous etudes you're going to hear when you search for Chopin in the line. And this etude actually has a little bit of story about November Uprising, which is about Polish-Russian war in 1831. And this etude is known for the left hand, because it has a lot of crazy arpeggio style. But in my opinion, it's both hand because you need to also control the heavy chords, but sing them very direct. So here's the Chopin etudes, and I'm going to play the 2 of them as a program. So please hold your applause until you total hear 2 songs. Thank you. of the wall, you can feel that. So, all right. Now we are moving on to the next composer, Debussy. He wrote amazing piano music for Preludes, Arabesque, but also he wrote a great album for called Polo Piano, which is known as Porta Piano. And then I picked first two movements, which are Prelude and the Sarabande. The first movement, Prelude, is theme of the repeated in chords, marked fortissimo, loud dynamics, together with glissando runs. I think he really loves the glissando. There's a lot of glissando here, especially in this movement. But in the middle section, he has a really unique parts here. The left hand holds one of the pedal point in one note is a whole tone, and then to which the right hand adds colors. At the end of this movement, the conclusion is marked tempo di cadenza, means it's the tempo for the cadenza style. That means it's a cadenza, so you don't need to play in tempo, but play as a cadenza. And then this again with the glissando figures again. And the Sarabande is actually one of my favorite movements. Sometimes Sarabande is not a sad music. Sarabande is one of the dance style. You're dancing. It's not a sad piece, but I just love this movement. And every time I play it, listening, I don't know why it makes me cry. I think I just love this movement a lot. Especially this Sarabande for Debussy. There's a quote from this composer. He said, rather like an old portrait in Louvre. So when he wrote this, he was thinking the dance style of Sarabande, and then he made amazing, nice phrasing with a lot of interesting jazzy chords. Well, not as like jazzy as the jazz later in the papers, but it has amazing, beautiful voices that you're gonna hear. So, all right, here's a Debussy for the piano, Prelude and Sarabande. Okay, so now we're jazz time, so it's going to be some fun time here. Who loves jazz, by the way? Yeah, a lot of people love jazz, great. I'm pretty sure maybe some of you heard this composer name, Valerie, but most of you might never heard this composer name, so I'm going to introduce her a little bit. Valerie, she born on May 24th on 1935, and she's an American pianist and composer who is most well known for her contribution in jazz, and she's blind, just you know. She wrote a lot of great jazz pieces, but I picked one of her favorite jazz album called Portrait in Jazz. And then she wrote total 12 movements, 12 song movements, but I picked 6 of her movements, and I'm going to perform for you guys. And because it's 6 movements, it's going to be talking the whole 6 and then play the whole 6 instead of too much talking. So I'm going to divide it into 2 sections. So 2 for each, so 2, 2, 2 is easy to remember. The first 2, I think this might be your favorite, especially the first one. The first one titled called Ella's Gets a Little Lamb. And I'm pretty sure you heard the song Mary Had a Little Lamb. So it's actually a really interesting composition for her. So she used that some part of the melody from that folk song, and she put that in this song, but a little bit of improvising. And the scat mean is one of the singing style. It's for improvising a melodic line using made up syllables, and pretty simple. You're gonna hear the taste of bass in the left hand melody. It's like fancy style bass player. That's the whole thing about it. But the next song, Billy's song, is another one of my favorite from her album. This is a really beautiful ballad dedicated in the fondest memory to the great lady of song, Billie Holiday. This has some emotional sense of that because this piece features about so much sadness and tragedy in her personal life. So enjoy. I have to do a speech from my professor. I'll use like back there somewhere. It's really hard to see from here. Yeah, you're back there. So, sorry, my eyes not good for dark, so it's like cold dark there. So, okay, trying to be emotional, but this, just so you guys know that maybe most of you I know already. This is very my first recital for doing by myself. I did a lot of recital back at home. So I did a lot of chamber music, with my orchestra, blah, blah, blah. That's great. But this is my very first recital that I'm not sharing with any music recital piano solo piece. Not in my home country, yes. And I have a lot of challenging through, just you're imagine that you're not in your home country. You might see your parents, if you're lucky, maybe once, maximum 2 months. But I haven't seen my family actually maybe about 3 years now. So, I just want to say special thank you for my professor. He did a lot of push me a lot. Sometimes I don't like it, but because of that, I could feel that from freshman to this level. I'm just finishing my recital here soon. 2 more pieces, almost done. I could feel that my level went high enough, and And then that's, of course, I practice a lot, you might argue that. But because your tools help me a lot with that, so I just want to say huge thank you for your class running. So. All right, two more songs. This one, the title is Canción de la Habana. Has a little bit of Spanish style. You can see to the light already. Amazing job, Joe. Thank you. Actually, well, yeah, I'm gonna hold it for that this way. And you're gonna hear this. It's written for piano, but you might hear, oh, this may be a good piece for the guitar students, and that's what it's about. The Bluebird, the last piece, it has a similar blues style from the blues from Duke, but it has more birdy style, you know, birds, right? And say chipping the melody in the right hand, then the fancy bass plays on the left hand. So that's about it. Again, thank you for your audience. This is amazing for supporting this recital. And then thank you for again Professor to pushing me. And then here's my last two pieces from the Valerie Capers, Canción de la Habana and Bluebird. sharing. I